Every sport has unique characteristics that appeal to one's interests, abilities, and expectations. There is also a complex mixture of social and economic factors influencing patterns of behaviour and sport participation choices. During my time at Brisbane State High School, I have been given an abundance of opportunities to participate in volleyball. However, it has become apparent to myself that my level of activity within the sport will diminish due to various sociological factors.
Figaro's framework, institutional level, can be used to evaluate how institutions can provide opportunities to access the sport of volleyball. In an attempt to resurrect this and ultimately increase my level of participation of volleyball at an institutional level, changes to Volleyball Queensland must occur. It is deemed feasible to see Volleyball Queensland branch out to create not only competitive teams but amateurs as such. By doing so, not only will the level of participation in sport increase, but a community and culture will also be created. Whilst being at Brisbane State High School, there are many sociological factors which contribute to the contribution of participation within the sport of volleyball. This is because I am able to play in the GPS competition from grades 8 to 12, allowing for a weekly game of volleyball and a minimum of one training a week. School HB also has allowed for the access and development of volleyball during practical lessons. After being given the access and equity to play volleyball during HB, it has become apparent to me that I enjoy the sport and would like to pursue it on a more social level once graduating from school. The cost for a social league team is $66, which calculates to $11 per person within a team of 6 players. This is a very reasonable price for an enjoyable game of volleyball. However, the current position in which I am does not allow me to have access towards volleyball outside of school hours. This is due to a clash of commitments towards soccer, limited nights to play on, and the current locations of social competitions not being in close proximity. This is my current weekly training schedule, and as you can see, I have training on a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, with Tuesday being my only night off. This, however, doesn't help, as the competitions available for me in Brisbane are played on Monday, Wednesday or Thursday nights. Another major barrier for the access of volleyball is the location. This barrier is due to the fact that there are only 2 venues available for me to play at. These are Clayfield College and the Gap State High School. The travel time from my location to Clayfield College would be a minimum of 30 minutes, while the minimum travel time to the Gap State High School would be at least 40 minutes. Both times are very unreasonable for a social game of volleyball, thus affecting my access and equity to play volleyball once I finish school. When comparing volleyball to other sports like soccer, which has over 18 registered social competitions online for people to play in, with venues all across Brisbane making it easier for people to access, and another reason for why soccer is rapidly growing in popularity while volleyball isn't. New analysis by sports research group Gemba says that 1.96 million people are now playing soccer, up from 1.7 million in 2009, an increase of around 15% in 3 years. When comparing it to the total population of other sports, that's 11% of Australians, while the Australian Bureau of Statistics estimation of the proportion of Australian children annually participating in organised volleyball was only 0.55 in 2012. These differences in participation rates come as no surprise, as the availability of facilities and competitions allow for greater access to join and play soccer teams instead of volleyball. I believe that if Volleyball Queensland is to increase the access and equity for postgraduate students and increase the rate of volleyball participants, I recommend that schools like Brisbane State High School work side by side with Volleyball Queensland and incorporate post-schooling competitions where postgraduate students are able to play each other in different divisions depending on their skill level. This recommendation will be available to students who have graduated from that school and others keen on playing, allowing for a competitive and social competition between past students and those who are still excited about playing in a post-school competition. This recommendation will aim to improve institutional and cultural aspects of the game. This program would run on from Monday to Friday, with advertisements for the competition taking place on Gumtree and social media groups like Facebook, Instagram, as well as posters set around the school and tertiary institutions like UQ and TAFE. By having a competition which runs 5 days a week, participation rates are likely to increase as people have the luxury of deciding what nights suit them best. The school will be able to receive revenue from teams to use their courts, and the competition will run from 6 to 9 p.m, allowing for GPS teams to train or play in the afternoons after school. By introducing this idea, the distance barrier will be diminished, as Brisbane State High School is situated 15 minutes away from me, making it much easier to get to and from games. The 5-day-a-week competition would also be suited to me, as I would be able to play in the Thursday night competition, allowing me to have access to a social volleyball league, as well as continuing to participate within other sporting commitments. To summarise, it is evident that even though I currently have an enhanced level of access and equity towards volleyball because of Brisbane State High School, it is likely that I will not be able to continue participating in the sport after finishing school due to the current barriers, thus making it clear that Volleyball Queensland needs to implement changes into the system, working side by side with high schools like Brisbane State High School in order to create greater access to the game and encourage past students to participate in the sport after finishing school. Thank you.